So in financial services, it's been very interesting to see the consumer journey continue to evolve over the past few years. Historically, there were a small set of kind of tools and services available to the consumer, mostly all built by your bank. So if you look at your finance section of the App Store, you'll see all the apps built by the bank a few years ago. And now we see this explosion of new types of applications and new consumer experiences. And what we found is that the most important thing increasingly is both the communication and then the price of the application. So communication meaning the simplicity with which a user can understand either their data or the tools or services that are being presented to them. It's been something that, for better or for worse, financial services hasn't always had. So clear communication and then price. If it's someone trying to get a loan, if it's someone trying to make a payment, there are a lot of questions about kind of price, and that is increasingly driving the consumer decision making. Plaid builds the infrastructure that allows you as a consumer to connect your bank account into any one of the hundreds or thousands of fintech applications out there that you might want to use. We're kind of this middle layer that on our back end we integrate with and work directly with the financial institutions, such that you as a consumer can come to one of the many applications that we power and simply just connect your bank account in and then do the banking things that you might need to do. So let's take, for example, Venmo, which is one of our early customers. We power the way that you can connect your bank account into Venmo. So as a consumer, you come to the app, you link your bank account, and then you can easily make a payment. And on the back end, that bank account connectivity, that's what we focused on. As you might imagine, working with large financial institutions is complex, and we do a lot of that day to day. I think from our side, we focus a lot on kind of communication and clarity, simplicity, and making sure that we're speaking the bank's language, which I would say a lot of startups don't always do. And then we also have realistic expectations where we treat the banks as our partners and we're excited to work with them and help them better serve their consumers and make sure that everything that we're doing is optimized to work very well with the financial institution. But we also have to have the realistic expectation that it takes a bank a while to do something new. So if we're thinking about selling them a product or we're helping them launch a new experience, we have to understand that there are the relevant hoops to jump through on their side and that we have to then play along in order to be helpful to them. So one of the biggest challenges that we've faced when working with the banks is that there are so many disparate pockets of interest and so many different areas to focus on throughout the bank. And we have to be sure that we're finding the right relevant folks to champion working with Plaid or building whatever new experience it is in the specific pocket of the bank that we need to work with, but also we're communicating to the other pockets of the bank so that no one's surprised. As you can imagine, there's a lot of constituents that have a lot of different points of view. And getting a big bank to do anything important has to kind of appease all of those constituents. So for us, it's setting realistic expectations and then being sure that we're able to communicate effectively, both with the group that we're working with and with everyone else. My message to fintech entrepreneurs is to focus very cleanly on the consumer experience and the customer experience. This has been something that for the past many years has not really existed in financial technology or financial services. For better or for worse, banking was built for a world that didn't envision the internet, and now we have the opportunity to change that and build in a consumer and customer-centric way. So if your customer is a consumer, then great. If it's a small business, great. If it's a large business, great. But if you're building a new financial technology company, focus on getting that right and then build from there.